In a village nestled among rolling green hills, there lived a couple, Arjun and Meera. But their home was far from peaceful. It felt like every day brought a new argument, a new disagreement, their voices echoing through the once quiet walls. The love they once shared was now buried under layers of frustration and resentment. Arjun, feeling lost and unheard, made a choice he would forever regret. He sought comfort outside his marriage, starting an affair that he thought would bring him a moment of peace. But secrets in a small village have a way of coming to light. Soon, whispers turned into open talk, and the news of Arjun's betrayal reached Meera. Her world shattered. The man she had built her life with had broken their sacred trust. The pain was immense, a heavy cloak that threatened to suffocate her. Anyone would have understood if she had chosen the path of anger and revenge. But Meera, in her profound grief, did something remarkable. She took time not to plot her next move, but to reflect. She looked back at their years together, the good and the bad, and tried to understand where they had both gone wrong. She chose empathy. When she finally faced Arjun, it wasn't with screams or accusations. Her voice was calm, though laced with a deep, undeniable hurt. She spoke of her pain, the feeling of being discarded, but she also spoke of their shared struggles, acknowledging her own part in their growing distance. Seeing her approach, so full of grace, when he expected rage, was like a splash of cold water for Arjun. The full weight of his actions crashed down on him. Shame and remorse filled the space his anger once occupied. He saw the beautiful soul he had so carelessly wounded and realized the profound mistake he had made. Just as their personal storm reached its peak, a literal one descended upon the village. The river, swollen with relentless rain, burst its banks. A sudden, violent flood swept through their community, threatening everything and everyone they held dear. Homes were engulfed, fields of crops disappeared under muddy water, and panic set in. In that moment of crisis, personal grievances were washed away by the urgent need to survive.
Ouch.
Without a second thought, Arjun and Meera sprang into action. They worked side by side, day and night, their old arguments forgotten. They helped neighbors evacuate their homes, rescued stranded animals, and organized efforts to build temporary barriers against the rising water. Amid the chaos and destruction, something incredible began to happen. Arjun watched Meera, not as his feuding wife, but as a pillar of strength for their community. He saw her compassion as she comforted a crying child, her resilience as she carried sandbags until her arms ached, and her unwavering spirit. He saw the very woman he had fallen in love with, but with a new depth, a new power he had never recognized before. Most importantly, he saw her forgiveness, not just in her words, but in her actions. She trusted him to hold the rope, to guide the raft, to work with her as a true partner. Her grace moved him to his core. In that shared struggle, Arjun made a silent, solemn vow to himself and to her. He would change. He would become the man she deserved, the partner she had always needed. Meera's forgiveness wasn't just a word. It was the foundation upon which he could begin to rebuild himself. As the floodwaters receded, the villagers began the arduous task of rebuilding their lives. But Arjun and Meera were rebuilding something more fragile, more precious, their love. They worked together not just to repair their home, but to mend the cracks in their relationship. Their bond, once broken, was now forged stronger in the crucible of disaster and forgiveness. The village elders, watching them, would often share a piece of wisdom with the younger generations. They'd say forgiveness is the bridge that mends broken hearts. True strength lies not in holding grudges, but in the courage to forgive and the humility to change. Arjun and Meera's story became a living testament to that truth. A reminder that even after the most devastating storms, love with a little grace can rebuild everything. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this story with us. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more inspiring content. See you next time.